You know, animals have been walking on this planet for over 365 million years, and for the most part, that walking has been on four legs.
Walking on two legs is a fundamentally strange way to get around. No other primate and very few other mammals move this way. It's a change that had profound effects on the human body. Which begs the question, how on earth did it happen? My guide is Don Johansson, one of the first people to hunt for fossils here back in the early 70s, and a childhood hero of mine.
There's the camp.
There it is. They're on the far side of the river right there. Yeah.
Don's taking me to see where the first iconic fossil was found, a 3.2 million year old human ancestor known as Lucy. Lucy made headlines around the world because although she looked like an ape, she walked on two legs. She was a biped, at that stage the most ancient anyone had found.
Once we broke that 3 million year barrier, it was a whole new picture of what our earliest ancestors looked like. One of the most exciting moments of my entire career.
Since Don first came here in the 70s, scientists have organized expeditions here most years. They found over 400 individual fossils from Lucy's species. But it's Lucy I most want to meet. Her bones are some of the best evidence we have for what early bipeds looked like.
Now, of course, if this were all articulated properly, you know, with the vertebra on top of one another, she'd be about 3.5 feet tall. You don't see that.
Yeah, you don't get that.
Here's the femur.
That's the left.
Top end of the thigh bone.
And this one also, I mean, when you put it all together, now you have, you know, this is telling bipedal, this is giving a hint of bipedal.
This certainly tells it was bipedal. That can't in like that, which is very characteristic. Our knees are close together, and they come up to the side. The chimps come straight up.
Having the upper and lower leg in a straight line is no good for a biped. It makes for an awkward, waddling gait. Lucy's legs formed an angle. Her knees were closer together, just like our own knees. This positions the feet directly underneath the body, making walking easier and more efficient.
There we are. There we go.
So Lucy walked much like us. But she wasn't human. She had many primitive features, too.
So this is a real mix, you know?
It's a real mix.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is very primitive, right? Ape-like.
Very small brain and very ape-like proportions.
Bipedal.
But bipedal. Cool. And these hands would have stretched down to about here.
So down, yeah, it's the knee almost.
Yeah.
It's just so utterly fabulous.
Isn't it interesting? They had the pile of bones. You put her here, and all of a sudden you could see that it was a living person.
She's beautiful.
Yep. Thank you. We named her after the people and the land. We named her Australopithecus afarensis, from the Afar region.
So imagine if Lucy was here with us right now. What would she look like?
Well, she'd be short. She's only about 3.5 feet tall. And the one thing that would be familiar to us, she would be walking upright. But with those long arms reaching almost down to her knees, she'd probably have a very odd gait. And as she got closer, we'd see that she had a very ape-like face. I don't think you would see much of a glimmer of philosophical thought in her eyes. I think in many ways she'd look like the ape that stood up.
Yeah, amazing.
You know?
That's amazing.